Welcome back to Excel Maven. You've now completed a navigation unit and understood how to navigate through the interface of Microsoft Excel. Next, we'll move on to our styling unit. Now, let's start by opening the navigation and style worksheet that we worked on before. As you can see, we're currently in the Home ribbon, which includes the clipboard, font, alignment, number, styles, and so on. What we really want to care about when it comes to styles is the font selection, and this interface is similar to Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Now let's see these styling attributes in action. So first, selecting our cell, you can make this much bigger or much smaller. Now let's make sure the font size is even. And go on to the task for this unit. Our task for this unit is to look at the balance sheet styled version and try to replicate it for our example sheet. Let's see the differences. Starting from the top, we can see that our first three cells are centered across compared to our own cell, which is only on the left. There's multiple ways to achieve this centered across style. The easiest way is to first select the cells which we want to affect and then drag them to where we want to center them across. After doing this, we can look at our alignment, click on more, and then merge across. Then we can apply the centered text. Now we can see that this is in fact the same effect. Next, what do we want to do? We want to make sure that the assets and there's liabilities and shareholders equity have a dark background to them. Now let's drag and then check over here, which is our background or fill color. The color doesn't have to be perfect, so we can just choose anyone that looks pretty similar. This looks pretty similar. And do it again. Now, what's next? Well, we can see that the B, C, and D column have significantly more empty space than our own examples. So how do we change the width of the columns? We can do this multiple ways. One way is by looking to your right and dragging it. So let's say we want it to be 13 pixels. This is one way to do it. The other way is by first selecting the column, then going to format, and then changing the column width. This way we can enter a precise measurement. And lastly, we can also use keyboard shortcuts to accelerate this process. Let's start by using the fundamental keyboard shortcut opener, which is the Alt key. Once we press Alt, we can see that the attribute we want to change is within Home. So we can press H for Home. After pressing H for Home, we want to now locate the Format key. What is Format? It's the letter O. And then we can change the column width like this as well. Or we can make it autofill. It's currently autofitted, that's why the width is so narrow right now. Let's try this together now. Alt, H, O, and then W. And let's change it to 13. It looks better, but what else is missing? Let's see. For cash, accounts receivable, and inventory, there seems to be an indentation. Additionally, all these subtotals also have indentations. So what we can do is select the cells which we want an indentation and press over here, indent, indent. Now we can indent for these. Let's see, and just long-term debt. What's next? We can see within each subtotal, there's a border on the top of it. So for total current assets, there's a border on top of it. Total fixed income, or total fixed assets is also a border on top of it, as well as total assets. What we can do is by first selecting each subtotal and then going into our border options. What we want is a top border. Top border. And since we just used the top border, Microsoft Excel has saved this. What's next? We can see at the bottom is actually a whole double border in order to represent the total liabilities and shareholders' equity. Now let's try that. In addition to the top border for the number of cells, we also want to make it across the entire row. Let's add double borders. Well, you can see the color is a little bit off, but we have most of it right. Now, what else is missing? We can see at the top is actually a slight border. You can do the same thing and add the slight border to the top. That looks perfect. Other formatting functionalities that might be useful when creating a spreadsheet might be with numbers or data formats. So let's explore the different number formatting capabilities that Excel has to offer. For example, so let's try out the different formatting capabilities for numbers. First, select all of your data and then increase the number of decimals. This might be useful when it comes to precise reporting, or in our case, if we don't need it to be very precise, we can decrease decimals. Other options include adding dollar signs in front of a cell or changing it to a custom format, which includes colors. Seems that our formatting is good and matches our reference sheet.